Hello, welcome back to another edition of Flavor Savors. It's your girl Fluffy, and my audience today are the people who always on the go. Exactly. We'll all have time, right, to sit down and eat a whole layout of food, mukbang to mukbang. You know exactly what I mean. Here's the thing, though. I saw these in the store, and I said, I'm going to have to find out what these taste like and put my people on. So I'm going to tell you what I have today that we are doing a review on. This is new from Delmonte, and it's fruit and oats. This particular one is pear maple. See if you can get a good look at that, but that one is pear and maple, right? And this one is fruit and oats, but this flavor is apple cinnamon. That one is apple cinnamon. I don't know if you can catch that, but what we're going to do is see what they taste like. So first, let me tell you, as usual, we're going to measure these on 3 different categories. One always for me is going to be aesthetics. I want to know the eye candy. Does it even look delicious, right? So we're going to start with that. The next thing after that, seeing as this is not cereal, doesn't need to be measured on crunch factor, but it will be on combination. Do these combinations actually work? So we're going to try this and see whether or not this is a marriage made in heaven. Is this match correct or no? And then, of course, lastly, it's going to be flavor. What it tastes like. So that's what we're doing this morning. So as you can see, they pop out relatively easily. Now, I'm going to go ahead and open this up. Look, you on the go. You're trying to get in your car. You could throw this right here in your cup holder. You know, go out to the car and be armed with nothing but a spoon. Or a banana, right? Should be able to take a banana and run with it. What was over here right now? I don't know what I was reaching for. And now this one, of course, is the apple cinnamon. So, as usual, after I see it, I want to smell it. Smells, let me lean back from them grapes. Okay, so the smell coming off of this is definitely like a green apple. So my mouth is already preparing to taste something that is not as sweet as a red apple. So it's going to be interesting to see how that turns out. And then the maple just jumps out the bowl. Good grief. The maple jumps out the bowl. I don't smell or detect any notes of pear in here. I'm going to trust they in there. But the maple definitely jumps out of there. So let's get started. All right, so in my mind, I'm already envisioning that the light is red. Don't act like y'all don't be having nothing in the car. If you are driving distracted, I am not condoning your actions or behavior. Okay, now. So I want to just eat it off the top, but in fairness, the fruit is like toward the bottom. So sort of like when you have yogurt, you got to mix it up, you know what I mean? If you buy the fruit on the bottom yogurt. So that's the first thing that they have. So that's a little work. Otherwise, you got a mouthful of oats. Okay, so we're going to go ahead on and put in a little wort and then see what we got going on. So the first bite. I'm reaching over grapes and everything. You know I love y'all, right? Okay. I hope you saw that. Let's see. Well, what I was trying, and now I'm reading this container because it threw me off, clearly, when I first put it in my mouth because I'm just tasting so many different little beads, almost like a quinoa. And you know, oats are more like a flake than these little bitty beads. So I decided to take a read, and the apple cinnamon here is advising us that it's orchard apples, right? Orchard ripe apples with 100% grain, oats, and cinnamon, with a good source of dietary fiber and all that good stuff. So yeah, the oats are a secret. It says that this here is great warm or cold. I bet it would be just really, really good if you warmed it up before you got in the car with them. Hang on. Okay. Again, this one, I didn't see as much fruit in the cup itself so much. Right? We're going to mix it up from the bottom like before. That's because these pear pieces are cut smaller than the chunks of apple, but there's definitely quite a bit of pear in here. So let's see. Let's get us a good sampling here. Okay. All right. That's fair. So I'm going to tell you what you have going on. If you're a lover of apples, wait, that's at the end. First, let me tell you this. From an eye perspective, an eye candy aesthetic perspective, it looks extremely tasty. So it definitely will pull you in enough to say, hey, I've got to try this. So it's not off-putting with how it looks visually, but I think I still would give it a 3. I would give it a 3 after you take the lid off. It looks great on the container. On the packaging is beastly, but once you take the lid off and you actually see it in there, it's not bad, but it wasn't like pulling me like, oh, where's my spoon? You know what I mean? So I'll give it a 3 on visual. But then on the kinship to the pairing, you know, whether or not this was a match made in heaven, I should say, I believe that the greater match is the pear and the maple. I think the pear, maple, and oats is just a more familiar combination. Everybody's just the apple cinnamon, but somehow with the oats, it just didn't really make a love connection. So I think these are going to be in a long-term relationship, and somehow these folks, they're going to need some marriage counseling. But anyway, that's that on that. Now let's talk flavor. We got to talk flavor, right? Because the whole connection aspect is what brings all the flavors together. So typically used to hearing, you know, apple cinnamon, it kind of goes like apple pie kind of thing. And if you are a lover of apple pie, don't go into this expecting that. Again, there's these little bitty beads of oats in here that are a lot akin to quinoa. So they have like these little crispy, crunchy. So if you have any kind of dental work or whatever, you might want to know about that, because in this, I think it can kind of get lodged in there because the oats are soft, but those little pieces are not. Somehow in here, it's not as prevalent, and I don't know if that's because of what they use to make this combination happen, if it's softened those little bits of grain. So the oats and the grain. The oats you can handle, but I think that they might have should have thrown grain on there too when it comes to that. So having said that, you will see through all my pop-ups what I have rated each one and the total there, and then you will be able to make your own determination as to what it would be that you do next. Having said that, these will get consumed, but I would do them a little bit differently. So you see how I have this bowl of fruit right here? I would make it more of a fruit salad type thing and let one of these be like the foundation to that. Take it, chop you up some grapes, go ahead on and use this fruit cup. If you're going to use bananas, make sure it's something you're going to consume right at that moment. This way you have a nice hearty dish, and you can go at it that way, or you can come at it with the same kind of combination and add yourself some vanilla yogurt. You'll thank me later. Thank you for watching this episode of this here review of our Fruit and Oats edition, brand new. Check it out in your grocery stores. Come back, leave a comment, and tell us what you think. This your girl Fluffy in another edition of Flavor Savers. See you on the next one, everybody.